Hi everyone, it's Caitlin, and welcome back to Your Financial Journey. If you've been watching our channel, then you know just how important it is to start saving as young as possible, especially when we consider rising everyday costs, student loans, and all of the other expenses that will be coming our way as we grow up. It's easy to see the importance of having some money already set aside before you become an adult and really start entering the world of finances. The new 530A accounts, also known as Trump accounts, are an opportunity for parents to start building a fund for their children, with money provided by the government. That sounds like a good combination to me. And so today, we'll be covering what exactly these Trump accounts are, who's eligible to open one, how to open one, and what the money in the Trump accounts can be used for. Let's get started. So these new 530A or Trump accounts were created through the Working Families Tax Cuts portion of the Big Beautiful Bill, which was passed just last year in July 2025. Their goal is to help young adults with their finances and allow families to start building wealth for their children, or perhaps even grandchildren. So what exactly are Trump accounts? Well, Trump accounts are a new type of IRA, an individual retirement account for children under the age of 18. The account will be owned by the child but administered by an adult. Trump accounts are basically tax-deferred savings accounts, which means that you can make tax-free contributions and don't have to pay any taxes on these savings until you withdraw them. So similar to a tax-deferred 401k, 403b, or 457b plan that some of the adults watching with us might have. As you can imagine, the tax-free contributions and tax-free growth of a Trump account will be helpful if you're trying to build your wealth and savings. However, Trump accounts are different from traditional IRAs in one key aspect, because they allow contributions without earned income. This removes a major limitation for minors that don't have jobs, because traditional IRAs require earned income, meaning that Trump accounts may allow parents and family to help grow a child's funds even before they're working and earning money themselves. And in case you're wondering, yes, Roth IRAs also require earned income. So, for eligible children born between January 1st, 2025 and December 31st, 2028, the U.S. government will even contribute a one-time $1,000 deposit into the child's account. These children have to be U.S. citizens with Social Security numbers. Now, unfortunately, this does mean that if you're born before January 1st, 2025, like me, you will not receive this $1,000. But all children under 18 are still eligible for the account with the remainder of its features. A Trump account requires no minimum contributions, but a maximum of no more than $5,000 can be added to the account per year. If a child is already earning some money, employers can contribute as well, but only up to $2,500 per year. That said, after the child turns 18, the account becomes subject to the same contribution rules as traditional IRAs. Contributions must be invested in funds that track a qualified U.S. stock index, indexes with mostly U.S.-based company stocks for which regulated futures contracts are traded on a qualified board or exchange. For example, the S&P 500, a widely diversified stock index. The funds must not use leverage, meaning debt, and cannot have annual fees and expenses of more than 0.1%. How fast the Trump account grows will vary, depending on how much is contributed and how the market performs. But in general, you can expect a significant return, especially if money is contributed annually. In fact, contributing $5,000 per year for a newborn will turn into an estimated $271,000 by the time that the child turns 18, assuming historical stock market returns. In addition to any contributions from the child's family and the initial $1,000 deposit from the government for those lucky enough, children with Trump accounts might also receive more funding from philanthropists, their home state, employers, and private companies. Let's look at a few of these. First, Michael Dell, the founder of Dell Technologies, and his wife Susan Dell already pledged a total of $6.25 billion. They will distribute $250 to qualifying children across the nation. This includes children under 10 years old who reside in zip codes with a median family income of $150,000 or less. Now, the median family income in the US is currently somewhere in the range of $90,000 to $100,000 per year, which means that an estimated 80% of zip codes may be eligible for the Dell's contributions. You may want to check it out. There are also state-level contributions that might be available to you. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent described it as a 50-state challenge, aiming to encourage donors nationwide. So far, Ray and Barbara Dalio plan to fund Trump accounts for children in Connecticut who meet the Dell requirements, doubling those funds. Brad Gerstner of Indiana plans to contribute $250 for children under age 5 living in Indiana. In Texas, there are plans to pass the new Little Texans Savings Fund to give newborn Texans an additional $1,000 each, though this still has to go through the Texas legislature. While not all confirmed yet, companies such as Uber, BlackRock, Visa, MasterCard, IBM, Nvidia, Coinbase, and more have announced plans to participate as well. For example, IBM announced that it will match the federal $1,000 deposit for eligible newborns of U.S. employees and offer additional matching incentives when parents contribute. As time goes on, more donors may also pledge to contribute, so watch out for that. Finally, Ryan McInerney, the CEO of Visa, has announced a plan to launch a new platform allowing families to direct their credit card rewards into Trump accounts, which will be another way to add funds to the account over time. However, the details of this program haven't yet been worked out and are expected to come out later this year. So, how do you know if you're eligible for a Trump account? As I mentioned, the initial $1,000 government contribution will only be given to children born between January 1st, 2025 and December 31st, 2028. But apart from that, Trump accounts can be established for any child under 18 who is a U.S. citizen and has a valid Social Security number. The account must be opened by a parent or guardian. Now that we've gone over eligibility, let's take a look at how to open a Trump account for your child. And do note that at the time of this taping, you can already submit an application for a Trump account, but they will only become operational by mid-2026. Legal guardians, parents, adult siblings, or grandparents can open a Trump account for a child by filling out IRS Form 4547 at any time. Once the election is filed, the U.S. Treasury or its agent will send instructions to activate the account starting in mid-2026. The form can be filed when you file your tax return or online via the portal on trumpaccounts.gov. I've included the link below this video as well. Drop a comment below if you would like us to do a step-by-step tutorial on the account opening process. So, we've discussed what the Trump accounts are and who's eligible, how to sign up for them, and when they will go live. But what can you actually do with the money in the account? Well, the first thing to keep in mind is that no money can be withdrawn before the child turns 18. Once they turn 18, the account belongs completely to the child, and they can choose whether to withdraw or to keep the money in the account. At that point, there's a couple options of what to do with the account. The account can be kept as a Trump account, which will mostly follow traditional IRA rules but remain a separate type of account. On the other hand, the balance can also be rolled over to a traditional IRA or another eligible retirement account or a workplace retirement plan. Finally, the Trump account can also be converted into a Roth IRA, if appropriate. Before deciding whether to keep the money or withdraw it, there are a couple considerations to make. First of all, the Trump accounts were created with the intention of being long-term investment accounts, so there's not exactly a correct way to use it. However, Trump accounts can be extremely useful in planning for the future. Since I'm about to apply to college next year, something that my parents and I have been thinking about a lot are student loans, which is one of the main causes of debt for Americans. Now, I personally may be too late for the game, but if I had one already, I might have used the funds from a Trump account to pay for a part of my college expenses. Or they could also be contributed towards other important things, such as a car, a house, and etc. The money can also be saved, and since it will remain in the IRA account, it will continue to grow tax-free over time. The funds can even be used as retirement savings. especially when paired with other, more traditional ways to save for your child's future, such as 529 plans, UGMA or UTMA accounts. Trump accounts are a way for parents and families to invest into a child's future and alleviate some of the financial stress that they may face once they enter adulthood. And just as important as saving money for their future, Trump accounts are also a way to teach children about money. They can be an introduction into the world of finances for children, especially if you show them the account early on and let them see how the money gets invested and compounds and grows over time. After all, compound interest and investment is one of the most important financial principles that can act as a cornerstone to grow your wealth. Of course, the Trump accounts are still new, and we can't know for sure how it will all play out in the finer details. But at the end of the day, it's a way to prepare for your child's future. Not to mention that eligible newborns will be getting a free $1,000, so definitely sign up for that if you can. So, what do you think about the new Trump accounts? Will you sign up for one, or would you if you could? Do you think they will actually have a measurable impact on children's future? Drop a comment below and let us know. And make sure to like and subscribe if you learned something new or found some of our information helpful. And check out this video here from my sister Ava on how compound interest can potentially help your money grow and maybe turn your kids or grandkids into millionaires one day. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next time.